Hi, my name is Stacy Mathis, and today I want to share something with you. I truly believe that schools should be equally funded. Our nation's youth all deserve the same opportunities. We have been funding our schools the same way for hundreds of years. It may have worked when we started the education system, but it no longer works for us today. Our youth do not have the same opportunities as other youth across town, around the corner, because funding is not fair. It is based on where you live. And if you live in a low poverty area, your school will get less money. And those children will not have the same opportunities. They will not be able to have their own personal computers. They will not have STEAM programs. They will have underpaid teachers. They will not have enough school supplies. And just around the corner in a middle-class neighborhood, a school in that neighborhood could have so much more funding that everyone gets their own computer. There are so many more opportunities. There are so many more electronics and science that they will have advantage of taking up. Today, I want to discuss with you how we can fix this problem, how we can reach in and ask the government to make big changes. The funding is there. We need to make it fair. I truly believe that changing the way we fund our schools will allow our youth to have an equal playing ground and give them so many more opportunities. This will help end the process of systemic racism, which continues today and thrives in our schools, because although segregation ended in 1954 in education, many schools today are based on where you live. And if you live in an area of strictly Latino, low-income area, those are the students you're going to school with, and you're segregated from the middle class across town. I do not think that's fair. I think it's unconstitutional, and I think every child should have the same opportunities no matter where you live or the background you come from. So far, we have learned that funding across education is not equal. It offers far less opportunities for our children in poverty areas and substantiates systemic racism, and provides less opportunities for these children to finish high school and go on to higher education and college. This is an unjust system and continues to perpetuate more poverty amongst them, following in their families' footsteps and not the opportunity to break away. I truly believe school funding and the way we do it is unconstitutional. Evidence has shown that lower spending can ruin a child's future and send them in the same path as their parents, unable to break that cycle. Teachers lose excitement to come to school. There is not enough funding for them to have supplies. Each child does not have what they need. Schools are primarily funded by local governments and property taxes. The disparity between neighborhood to neighborhood can change the complete value of a student's education. Studies show that when more money is spent on school in low-income areas, students will do better. And I believe we can do better. Here's how. Now that I have proven it is essential to provide all youth with equal opportunities and allow a more level playing ground and the ability to achieve the college level education, I'm going to share with you my ideas for a solution. Distributing funds equally will increase opportunities in low-income schools. Transparency into school funding across town will help understand the gap that is still there. States need to evaluate the whole budget and then decide every student has a number attached to them, an equal number. Each student will have the same funding allotment no matter where they live or the background they come from. The state will control the school budget and provide equitable spending opportunities on a cost per student basis. States should collect all local property taxes and then evenly disperse it to the schools. They need to redistribute it based on a student basis, not neighborhood basis. The state should create a negotiated term for computers, the ability to create a nice upkeep of the school, because schools in low-income areas are falling apart because they don't have the same funding. Every school should provide the same opportunity. Every student should have the same amount of funding attached to them attending school. My solution is desirable because it will increase the value of all neighborhoods. People will no longer say they chose to live in a certain neighborhood because of the school district. All school districts should be proud. All school districts should be having the same opportunity across them. They should all have an opportunity to learn another language, to work in a STEAM program, to have their own personal computers that they can do projects on and not have to give them back at the end of the day or at the end of the 1 hour allotment they're allowed. It will allow our youth to grow. It will give them the opportunity to become inspired. And at most, it will give them the opportunity to learn and find a love of learning and continue to learn. Now that I have shown you how I believe states should take the driver's seat and take full responsibility to evenly distribute funds based on student, not local taxes, and you can see how closing the gap in local neighborhood funding will fairly distribute funds for education. Local governments and underfunded schools promote systemic racism and encourage poverty. By equally funding schools, children will have the same opportunities to learn and grow. It is essential to provide all children the same opportunities. In closing thought, after I've learned how much disparity there is in classrooms across the same city, it makes me very sad, and I truly believe that now is the time that we stand up for our youth and make a change. We must help stop systemic racism. We must help fund our schools evenly. Thank you so much for your time.